I can't show her, but she's literally covered in red paint.
Yes, so that's not red paint, it's actually my period.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
Alright guys, we are back once again, and we are sadly once more going to have to discuss the infamous Tosh Peterson, or as the internet knows her best, that vegan teacher's daughter, who is just another completely insane, extremist vegan influencer, and one who seems to be on just a different level of insane than I actually thought was possible. And she is just out here doing what she does best, which of course would be disturbing the public while seeking attention, and doing so by committing some extreme acts that I can only consider as downright disgusting. And this was actually revealed in one of her recent videos, titled SS Sniper Wolf Thinks I'm More Insane Than That Vegan Teacher. And this video right here is a real piece of batshit crazy work. Because not only does she do her extremist talking points that she always does, where she just accuses you of being a murderer or an animal abuser, all because you like to have a nice steak every now and then. But she also felt the need to just share some wild ass information. And when she was responding to this video, Sniper Wolf was basically just watching a video of her going into Versace, where she was butt ass naked, just ass and titties out for veganism, while also covered in what I used to believe was red paint. And honestly, I really wish that I still believe that. But nah. Being naked wasn't enough for her, and apparently red paint just doesn't get the message across like she would like it to. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and dive straight on into it and see what she has to say about this little situation, and just take a look how she tries to defend these just absolutely downright devious actions.
Okay, so I've just clicked on the video and the thumbnail is me with blood all over my body. And this was when I was doing a disruption inside Louis Vuitton. I am naked and she's done something really unusual to my face. I mean, what is with this? I look like a clown.
Okay, I'm gonna say this now. There's nothing wrong with being a vegan. People can do whatever they want in their own personal life as long as they're not hurting anybody. But my problem is when you're rubbing it in everybody's faces.
Down jacket and woolen jumper.
You never realize there's a cameraman until they grab the camera and you're like, oh, that's a whole other person. I can't show her, but she's literally covered in red paint.
Yes, so that's not red paint, it's actually my period blood.
And yeah, not even 3 minutes into this video, and it's already taking a turn downhill at fucking Mach 10 almost immediately. Which is too bad, because I actually thought that it started off pretty well. Because we were actually lucky enough to witness Tosh Peterson making one of the first true statements that I've ever seen her make.
I look like a clown.
And she actually depicted herself pretty damn well. So right when I thought that she was developing just a little bit of self-awareness, she then decides to just drop this random ass bombshell right at the beginning of the video that she somehow thought it was a good idea to become a literal walking biohazard just by coating herself in her own period blood. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that was a sentence that I did not think I was gonna be uttering ever on YouTube. And this idea was just so downright disgusting and absurd to me that I thought she was memeing on me at first. I thought I was getting trolled and I was biting on the damn bait. But it turns out that that's not the case. Because she then went on to try and explain as to why she thought this was a good idea for a protest, and why she even did the weird shit in general. And let's just say, after hearing all of this bullshit, her case for why this is necessary just does not convince me whatsoever. And she sounded serious through the whole thing. So I really feel like there was somehow some period involved somewhere in this. And in reality, I don't think that it is all technically her period blood. I would assume if she did actually use any of her blood, she would have mixed it into the paint or something. But I will take her at her word for this. She sounds dead serious when she says this. And it's just batshit crazy to even say this.
So the purpose of the nudity in this protest and the period blood is that I'm using my own bodily autonomy and my own blood and my own voice to speak up for those who have no bodily autonomy. Non-human animals who are subjected to exploitation, slavery, abuse, and murder because of non-vegans.
And here's where she just doesn't make a single bit of sense, right? Like, what is the reason for you being naked? And on top of that, Why do you even need to use real blood? Especially your period blood. Like, actually, just why? What is the thought process here? Even if you just used like a few little drops and you put it in paint, there's just no reason to do this. And you're so crazy that I actually believe you. I could see you doing it just to make yourself feel better, so that you think you're like sacrificing for the animals or something. You could get the same thing accomplished by just having on a white shirt and covering yourself with paint. You would get the same amount of attention as you would naked with your own real blood on. I mean, shit, everyone thought it was paint anyway, so what is the point of using your actual blood? What kind of room temp IQ activities do we got going on here? And it was just already bad enough when you were just out in public walking around butt-ass naked for whatever little kid to be out and about shopping to just see you. And now you've taken it a step further to where you have actual blood on you. Which again, is just like a walking biohazard. Nobody knows what kind of diseases you might have. And I mean, you do OnlyFans, and you're just out naked in public, so you're definitely into that real freak nasty shit, if you know what I'm saying. So low-key, it is possible that you have something going on there. So hopefully for just some random odd reason, you just decided to lie about using your real blood. And what makes it even worse is that you're actually wrestling for the sign with people as they try to take it away. So you're rubbing your blood all up on them while acting like pretty much just a complete idiot. And I wouldn't have a problem with you protesting if you just did it in a normal, respectable fashion. But instead you decide to strip and cover yourself in your own bodily fluids. And this isn't where the craziness in this video ends, because Sniper Wolf actually brings up some good points later on in this video, and Tosh just decides to respond with more radical vegan bullshit. And just overall does a really good job showing why her supposed form of protest is absolutely awful.
Also, why is she naked? Rather naked and wear Elsa's skin. You know cotton exists? That's from a plant. You can get a cotton t-shirt. You don't have to walk around with some bloody nips to make a point. I feel like it's just a matter of time before the cops get here and then she's just gonna get arrested.
So the purpose of the nudity in this protest, as mentioned before, is to spread a message saying that I would rather be naked than wear someone else's skin. You choose to wear someone else's skin, wool, fur, feathers, scales, when you could be choosing the vegan alternative. Exactly, like cotton, as you said.
And you see, that right there could be a somewhat decent message if you were actually wearing something like cotton. So I hate to break it to you, but that's just still not a defense as to why you're naked. If anything, you should just be wearing like a full cotton suit so that you can just demonstrate to other people that there are actually different alternatives to wearing these different types of clothing that you disagree with. But instead, you're just turning people away because there's some naked chick out here screaming like a maniac with literal bloody nips. Like, that's gotta be the best part. She made that joke and it turns out that it is actually blood on this chick's nipples. This is just crazy work. And the craziest part about all of this is I think you're turning more people away from veganism than you're actually bringing to it. Like, you are inspiring more people to eat meat. And I think that this is something that you actually know, since you bring it up here in a bit in your own video, but you just don't care. And the main reason that you don't care is because this is all about just making money for you. And I believe that the real reason that you're actually out here naked is so that you can just farm as much money from OnlyFans as possible. And then you're able to just post more shorts like this, where you're bragging about how much money you've made. Because that's for veganism, right?
She feel like she did something. She walked out of there like, oh man, I really made a difference today. I really changed somebody's life and made at least 3 people in that store go vegan today. Yay! Like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't think anybody watches these videos and decides to go vegan. Like, if they go vegan, it's because, oh, I don't like how meat makes my tummy feel, or they do it for like health reasons, or they watch that Dominion video.
So firstly, vegans don't become vegan for health reasons or because they don't like the way that flesh feels in their stomach. Vegans become vegan because they're against animal exploitation, abuse, and murder. It's that simple. It's got nothing to do with health. It's got nothing to do with any other human-centric reasons. It's because we are against the exploitation of non-human animals. We're against speciesism.
And then yeah, you kind of get an idea of just how self-centered this woman actually is. And now it kind of makes more sense as to why she thinks that she has to go around telling other people what they have to eat and what they shouldn't eat. And it's just overall ridiculous, because I've seen multiple people talk about that they went vegan for health reasons, so that they could lose weight or just feel like they're eating a healthier diet. And what I've really seen a good bit of is people talking about leaving veganism for health reasons. I mean shit, even Nikocado Avocado says that's why he's not vegan anymore.
Most vegans stop being vegan. It's the biggest revolving door on the planet. And let me tell you why. Because you get sick. I stopped because I was ill.
So when even Nikocado Avocado is making more sense than you, then you've got an issue. When he can even see that different people need different nutritional needs, and that many have to go vegan to help themselves, and many have to stop veganism in order to help themselves get the proper amount of nutrients, then it's just insane that you can't see it. So keep in mind, the lady who's trying to talk for all of the vegans is the same one who is walking around in public screaming with her own period blood smeared all over her naked body. And that's not even where the delusion ends, because we then come to find out that she thinks doing stupid shit like this is actually working and bringing people to her cause.
It's definitely not like, I'm gonna watch this butt naked person in red paint walk into a Louis Vuitton, run around the Louis Vuitton, and call everybody a murderer. Yeah, that's definitely gonna make people turn into a vegan. This is just not an effective way to make a point.
Okay, so you say it's not an effective way to make a point, but again, this protest actually generated international media attention, and it's got you watching it, and what have you got? 1 million views on this video, so people are listening to the message that I'm conveying. So there's no doubt that people are actually going vegan because of this form of protest, and all forms of activism have been essential now for the animal rights movement and throughout history for other social injustices.
And there's also no doubt that maybe 2 times that amount that are actually going vegan are getting pushed away from veganism when they may have been open to the idea. Because again, there is some lady with her own period blood walking around screaming. If you just put that in any other context, it sounds even more crazy than it already is. And I mean shit, you can even see that by looking at all the comments. I mean, just look at how many comments on all these different videos there are of people just talking about how they're eating a steak, or they're gonna go eat a whole chicken, or they're gonna go eat some other form of meat, all because you're out here acting stupid. So if anything, you might have the most murder on your hands specifically. You are influencing the most people to actually eat meat. So by your logic, you're more of a murderer than someone just living their normal life eating meat, because you're influencing 2 times the amount to actually eat meat. So I just don't understand the logic here. Just because it's getting a lot of views doesn't mean it's pushing your message across in a positive way. And you're just doing way more damage than good. But yeah, I guess now we really see how delusional she actually is. And I knew she was crazy, and I knew she did some kind of, disgusting things by walking around naked and just exposing herself to families. But rubbing your own blood on yourself is just a whole different level of wild. And I could not believe it when I heard this video. I wasn't even planning on making a video on this until she said that crazy shit. Like, that threw me for a complete loop. But with that all said, I think I'm done here. So if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and I'm out. Watching Tosh Peterson really sink further into delusion, and peace.
I look like a clown.